Welcome back to Mud Lake Ranch. Today we're here with a Tokarev TX3 12-gauge shotgun. Tokarev TX3 12-gauge shotgun is intended for home defense and for range use. And today we're going to take this out on the range and have just a little bit of fun with it. And we're going to see how it runs. And we'll see if this affordable 12-gauge shotgun is something you should consider. This version of the Tokarev TX3 features Turkish walnut furniture. I love the corn-cob style forend on this thing. It's one of my favorite type of shotgun forends in all the world. It also features a heat shield up top that has holes for ventilation. I absolutely love the look of a heat shield, and I really don't even care if they work. I just love the look of that. I don't intend to ever put my hands on here after firing the gun. It just has an aggressive appearance and looks a lot like another gun that I reviewed recently, and that one was from Mossberg. And coincidentally, this gun is compatible with Mossberg 500 and 590 furniture. So if you want to switch this out to a pistol grip stock or a polymer stock of some sort, you can. There's also different configurations of this shotgun available. The shotgun features a front fiber optic sight and a rear ghost ring sight that is integrated into the Picatinny rail on top of your receiver. Features familiar controls, your action levers in front of the trigger to allow you to run the pump, as well as a safety that's positioned directly behind the trigger. I have shot this gun already, which is unusual for me. Usually my first experience with the gun is my first range day with you guys, but this thing is pretty sick. The back sight ghost ring is fully adjustable. This gun, as you can imagine, is made in Turkey, making it an affordable option for those looking for a 12-gauge pump action shotgun for home defense. They do offer, and I've added, a 1-round magazine extension. This allows you to add one additional round. Otherwise, you have the regular nut at the front of your tube, and that would have your opposite sling swivel. In this case, with the 1-round extension, it has a pivoting sling swivel at the front here. I like the look of this more than I really need that one extra round. I like that it's equidistant to the shotgun barrel. I think that offers a really cool aesthetic to add to that heat shield and Picatinny rail. So it does have the sights, Picatinny rail up top. If you wanted to run a red dot or other type of optic, you're not gonna have much room to add anything other than a red dot, standard red dot. Rear butt pad is nothing to write home about. It's actually slightly boring. It does the job. It's got you can feel a squishy air pocket there in the center, so it's got a rigid area around the outer edge, and then a little gap of air in there to absorb some of the shock from the 12-gauge. This gun does accept 2 3/4 and 3-inch shotgun shells, so we'll run both, and we'll complain about the 3-inch later. The barrel is anodized black, and it is a chrome lined barrel. Inside the chrome lined barrel up front here, it is threaded to accept chokes. It comes with 3 chokes, and I believe that they are cylinder modified and full choke. Now we've covered just about everything in this gun. Trigger guard is plastic, but you do get real Turkish walnut stock on this thing. Now that we've covered all the features on this gun, we're going to actually get out here on the range and run this thing with 2 3/4, 3-inch magnums, and with some slugs. Ammo sponsor of today's video is Remington Ammunition. Remington provided the ammunition that we are using in today's video, and without sponsors like Remington, videos like this would not happen. My eye protection is provided by Gatorz eye protection. These are ballistic mil-spec eye protection, and EarShield by Otis Technology will be my ear pro. We'll start out with the 2 3/4 inch shells. Gonna load up however many this thing accepts. I actually forgot the capacity, and this is when we'll cover it. When I was using it the other day, I was testing Ear Pro, so I was only running 2 shots at a time. I feel like that's going to be at, I'm guessing 6 in the tube. Yep, 6 in the tube. 1 in your chamber. Our safety is still on. I'm going to save the man for later. Clear. I take back what I said about the heat shield, because it is not hot and the barrel is. So it does actually serve a function. All right, this one, these are the 3-inch, and we're shooting at the infinite defense targets. I really like these because you just repaint them. You don't have to replace them for thousands of rounds. Well, unless you hit the leg. I did buy more legs. I did buy more legs at Lowe's, so I can replace these easily. I already chopped those off in the last shotgun video I did. But that demonstrates some effectiveness, I think. All right, we are still running 3-inch. I tell you what, the ghost ring sight's effective. At any range I've been at, it's been outstanding. I'm going to run some of these 12 gauge Sabos, the AccuTips from Remington. Do not shoot steel at this distance with a slug gun. You should be a considerably further distance away than this. I'm going to see if we got any accuracy. I caught the corner of the guy's head. Pretty cool. Oh, did I only put one? Go for the paper center. See how I did down there. This will give me an idea if I could actually shoot deer with this thing. So the slugs kind of jack up your infinity target. They put a big asshole there and there. So I wasn't that far off of my aim point. I was aiming at the head, so I mean, they were close distance, a little high. But yeah, that will ruin your target pretty quick. So luckily it skimmed the edges and didn't shoot her in the meat. Okay, final thoughts on the Tokarev TX3 12 gauge shotgun. A few things I didn't mention. Well, I mentioned the shotgun choke tubes, but they come in a nice little case with the choke tube wrench. That's a good added value considering this is already a high value. It's a very affordable shotty. So what do I think of the Tokarev 12 gauge TX3? This thing's pretty sick. It actually worked extremely well. No failures to feed, super easy to load, very familiar controls. It's so far a very reliable shotgun. We've been through about 100 rounds of ammunition so far. We shot some 2 3/4 inch birdshot. We shot some long range 3-inch Remington 12 gauge birdshot. And we shot some of the AccuTip slugs, and they proved to be pretty accurate, even though we haven't made any adjustments to this ghost ring sight. And I usually don't like ghost ring sights, but if you're just this close a range, pop up the shoot, it worked extremely well. I like the fiber optic sight up front. I love the heat shield, which we've talked about before. Heat shields, I take back what I said about heat shields. This thing is very effective. And how I found out is after I finished shooting, I rested my hand against the barrel below it by mistake. and it's extremely warm, especially after you've dumped the entire magazine tube. Now, the other reason I found out is when this thing is sitting down, if you go to grab this, and I just picked it up off the bench like that, if this barrel was hot from me firing, emptying the tube a few times, that would have hurt. So it's the tube, it does get pretty warm shooting these rounds, so I take it back. If you guys already knew that, just crucify me in the comments. I appreciate it. I love the comments. They help grow this channel. All right. This thing is well outfitted for being such an affordable. This thing's well outfitted for the price point that it comes in at. Fact that it has the Picatinny rail, that it has the sights already built in. And these, I'd say, are really well protected. Like you could, if you're breaching a door or if you drop this thing, the sight has a very well protected surround that keeps the sight from getting bumped. And that's pretty cool. The front sight, not so much, but it's a pretty rigid front end. And if you do need both sights, but if you're looking down the barrel and you see somebody in a defense situation, that peep's going to be enough if you have the other target as your front sight. You know what I mean? Really liking the corn-cob style front end, and people give me crap for calling it that, but that's what it is, in my opinion. I think it's originally an Ithaca Firearms design from like the 1940s. One of the ways that they save some money on this thing, you can tell it's not an expensive gun, but it does work. Right out of the box, it was losing some of its anodization. There's scuffing on the pump already. I've only used it 2 times, haven't had it out in the field really, and it's losing some up in front from getting banged around a little bit here, scuffing up here. No big deal. The wood furniture looks great from a distance. You get up really close to it, and you're going to see some imperfections. It's not a glossy, like this is a matte finish. It's not sanded to perfection. It's milled, sanded enough to make it acceptable. This is a very acceptable finish. I'm going to go with that because it's a tool. Oh, firearms are a tool. This isn't a safe queen. This is a defense gun. I feel like this thing would look even better if it had some scuff marks, like it had been in the fray, like it's been utilized over the years, because it has a nostalgic look and a very combative stance with this heat shield and the corn-cob front end. It looks like a vintage defense weapon or a vintage security gun. Practicality score on this gun, super practical. I like the short footprint, perfect for defensive situations and perfect for a range this size and probably longer. I think this thing is actually a huntable gun, where it has the choke tubes. I want to chuck a full choke or extra full choke in it and see if this is a gobbler getter. You guys might scoff and say, well, it's not camo. You can do some stuff to camouflage these things. You could spray paint this sucker. It could be, I think it would be a very nice running gun woods gun. But I'm going to probably leave it in this configuration. Maybe throw a sack over it or something. But I'm telling you what, it's a matte finish. It's not glossy. It's not emitting any flash. And I think you could just simply sit in the woods. This thing's a stick, man. Turkey don't know the difference between a black stick and a gray stick. So this is a huntable firearm, in my opinion. I think it would be great for running after turkeys. So especially where it takes 3-inch. Maybe we'll pattern this gun as a non-intended use of this TX3. Practicality score for defense. This is cool. I mean, especially with the added 1 round, just for a little bit more security. Practicality score on this, man, I love it's very practical. 8.8. I mean, it's pretty high out of 10. 8.8 out of 10 on practicality. Coolness, accuracy. I didn't miss a single target in. I mean, I just talk about this a lot. It's a scattergun, but with the slugs, I didn't miss either. And I was tattering these targets at, we're at 30 yards. Most of these targets are 30 yards. Hit every piece of steel with the birdshot, with its cylinder choke. And I wasn't nicking them. I was hitting direct. So accuracy was on point. Well, go average like 7.5. It was accurate enough for a shorty gun. And coolness factor. This gun's pretty darn cool. That heat shield up front, the corncob grip, boring matte finish, kind of a boring matte receiver, but it's not. That's why I got good on the practicality score. It's really cool. I added to the coolness by adding the adapter up the front here. Man, it's pretty cool. There's a few things that can make it cooler. We're gonna go with a solid 7 out of 10. It's not average, it's above average, and it is really cool. And I'm gonna beat the crap out of this thing. It might be the truck gun. This is a good utility gun. That about does it on the Tokarev TX3 12 gauge shotgun for home defense and range use. All the steel targets behind me were provided by Shooting Targets USA. Check them out for steel targets as well as the infinite defense targets. They carry both on their websites. Thank you to Shooting Targets USA as well as the other participants in this video. Thank you to Tokarev and SDS Imports for sending along the Tokarev TX3 12 gauge shotgun for review on this channel. If you found this video useful, helpful, or interesting, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe.